Hey everyone. We hear so many teachers telling us that we ought to have a personal relationship with Elohim. But is that what we're taught in the Tanakh? We should look into this. Shalom everybody, and welcome to Beit Tefillah. All the time we hear pastors and preachers and teachers in the Hebrew Roots movement telling us that we should have a personal relationship with our Creator. But is that even scriptural? When some people think along the lines of having a personal relationship with Elohim, that can open up a flaw in their way of thinking, something to the effect of, well, God wouldn't hold me accountable for that, or He wouldn't be upset if I did this or that, because after all, we have this personal relationship. And something like that is very dangerous because people will do instead what they feel is right in their heart instead of doing what Elohim delivered to us in His Word. Let's remember that the children of Israel wandered the wilderness for 40 years because of some spies that gave a bad report. Now, two of the spies, Caleb and Joshua, did not. They gave a good report. But did Elohim say to Caleb and Joshua, yeah, y'all run in the land and you'll be fine and I'm going to make everybody else wander the wilderness for 40 years? No, that's not what happened at all. They all had to wander it together as one big family unit, all as the children of Israel. He gave us all one set of laws, one right ruling, one Torah for everybody, and He treats us all the same. With Elohim, it's all about balanced scales. When it comes to how we deal with people, how He deals with us, everything is on a balanced level. There's nobody preferred over anybody else. We are all one big family, and we are all treated the same by Elohim for those of us who are in His covenant. So all the people who were wandering the wilderness for 40 years, they were all treated the same as one big family. And Caleb and Joshua, unfortunately, even though they gave a good report, they had to wander for 40 years and suffer just like everybody else did. Let's think of everything Moses did to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt. Elohim said Moses was the most humble, and we know that Moses spoke to Elohim face to face like a friend. But when Moses struck the rock, instead of speaking to it to get the water out, like Elohim commanded him, and he failed to esteem Elohim in the eyes of the people, did Elohim cut him any slack because they had some kind of personal relationship? No. That prevented Moses from even entering the promised land. He could only see it from a distance when Elohim brought him up on the mountain where he was going to die and say, see that land? That's the land I'm going to give him, but you can't get in there. How many people remember the story of Achan? When the children of Israel were commanded to rush in and take the city of Jericho after they marched around it for 7 days, blew the shofars, and the walls fell, they were commanded to not take any of the spoils which were under the ban, any of the valuables. But one man didn't listen, and we can read about that in Joshua 7:1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass regarding that which is under the ban. For Achan, the son of Carmi, son of Zabdi, son of Zerah, of the tribe of Yehudah, took of that which is under the ban, and the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against the children of Israel. This was one person that had sinned. Yet Yahuwah said to Joshua, in Joshua 7:11-12, Yisrael, plural, has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them, and they have even taken some of that which is under the ban, and have both stolen and deceived, and also put it among their own goods. And the sons of Israel shall not be able to stand before their enemies. They are going to turn their backs before their enemies, for they have become accursed. I am not with you any more, unless you destroy that which is under the ban from your midst. So we can see that Achan was the only one who disobeyed Elohim and took some of the silver and gold in a garment that was under the ban, and the rest of the children of Israel were obedient. They all obeyed. But who did Elohim punish for Achan's disobedience? Everyone. They were all treated as one. It took the children of Israel to purge Achan and get the evil out from their midst to calm the anger of Elohim from the people. The point is, if it was all about personal relationships, wouldn't Achan have destroyed his own personal relationship with Elohim, and all the rest of the children of Israel would have been fine? Elohim would have known what he buried under his tent and went, "It's all over for you, buddy. Between me and you, our relationship is over." But no, as we can see from the text, that's not how Elohim works. When you have a personal relationship with another person, after time, they end up knowing a good deal of what's in your heart. Many people say they have a personal relationship with Elohim because he knows what's in their heart, right? But Elohim knows what's in the hearts of all people, whether they are his people or they're not. After all, why did Elohim flood the earth? Genesis 6:5. And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Now the Hebrew word for heart in that verse is lev, which can mean heart, mind, will, or intent. Elohim knew what was in their hearts, and it was always wickedness. And so they were all destroyed, except for Noah and his family, when he flooded the earth. Let's hear Ecclesiastes 9, verse 2. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked. So the same things happen to the righteous and the wicked. It's the people who decide during those things which path to follow. Elohim gave us his word to show us the way, but most people won't find it, sadly, as they're not even looking for it. You want to be considered Elohim's people, and in that relationship, here's how. Exodus 19:5. And now, if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. Elohim gave us his Torah, which is one set of laws that we all are supposed to follow if we wish to be considered his people. That's why he tells us in Exodus 12:49, there is one Torah for the native born and for the stranger, ger, who sojourns among you. And in Numbers 15:29, there is one Torah, both for him who is native among the children of Israel and for the stranger who sojourns in their midst. Also in Leviticus 24:22, you are to have one right ruling for the stranger and for the native, for I am Yahweh your Elohim. There is one law and one Torah for everybody. For those who believe in some kind of nonsense called the Noahide laws, listen to this. Deuteronomy 31:12. Gather the people together, men and women and children and your stranger, ger, that is within your gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear Yahweh your Elohim and observe to do all the words of this Torah. That completely obliterates anything called the Noahide laws. Everybody, one law, one Torah for all. You're teaching Noahide laws, you are not speaking for Elohim. And Elohim was clear about how we are to treat each other. Leviticus 19:15. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling. Do not be partial to the poor, nor favor the face of the great, but rightly rule your neighbor in righteousness. Leviticus 19:34. Let the stranger who dwells among you be to you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. I am Yahweh your Elohim. Each of us must personally repent and return to Elohim's ancient path, his Torah. Nobody can do that for us. We are all responsible for what we do individually. Just like Elohim said that each is to die for his own sin. Nobody can die for us either. No one can take away our sin. Elohim has to forgive it. Once we return to an ancient path, then we come into covenant with Elohim and we are treated as one family, known as Yisrael. Elohim has a very personal relationship with his family and loves all who are his, but we are to come together as one, and that's who Yahweh has a personal relationship with. All of us as one. Listen to this beautiful promise from our Elohim as recorded in Isaiah 41:8-10. But you, Yisrael, are my servant Yaakov, whom I have chosen, the descendants of Abraham my friend, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called from its farthest parts, and said to you, you are my servant, I have chosen you and have not rejected you. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not look around, for I am your Elohim. I shall strengthen you. I shall also help you. I shall also uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. This is speaking to each one of us as a group, his people, Yisrael. Well, I hope it cleared that matter up, and I hope this video blessed you. Shalom to all who are Yisrael and are scattered worldwide in the dispersion. Everybody be blessed, and have a wonderful day.